say, "Hey guys, I'm gonna
Rubles
ult
left.
as Emma for the Star Lord," and I
Moonkai
just didn't hear it. So
668
that is
moved to general
100%
call.
on me. Them dying there slash not ulting is not because they panicked. It's because I specifically told them not to ult unless I said, "Hey, I don't have it. Go ahead and ult."
No,
So
no, I'm not saying
that one I
specifically
could.
with that example.
No, I
I'm
know, but
saying in
I'm
like I was
also
just
saying
giving
like there's definitely one
examples.
that was on me for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm not like again, the what I'm saying is like V. I'll be honest with
Yeah,
you. There was no pre-fight planning during that entire time. There
there
was no
for that
like
last round, for that last game, yes, I agree with that. There was, I
like
think,
there.
on one or two of the other games, I think we definitely went in with some plans. We just didn't execute them very well.
But that's the thing, like the biggest thing is being on the same page when it comes to pre-fight planning, right? Which is why like having an alt tracker is so important. It's why because the thing is that the worst thing that can happen in rivals is getting surprised by something. Because if you get surprised by something, you panic, and that's how it will lead to death. So like for example, literally right here, Starler's sneaking up on Psylocke. Psylocke has no idea. She gets
I
surprised,
hard
dies.
comped
I
it.
guarantee
I
you that.
hard comped it.
Well,
I
yeah,
hard comped it.
we already knew this. It's just he can't blitz her that quick, so I was trying to get the initial. Yeah, ma.
See, I hard comped it. I hard comped this.
Okay. But right, but I'm just saying like as an example, right? So that's one big thing with pre-fight planning is you're trying to reduce the amount of unknown variables that are going to be in the next fight so that you guys are playing more actively and not reactionary.
Yeah, especially on
Well,
offense. On
I
defense, it's more so reactionary because they're coming to
It is
you.
a bit
But
more
I
reactionary, but
prefer
you
to
should
play
be
more
playing
reactionary.
actively defensively. So you
yeah,
should be thinking, okay, they have Rocket Star Lord, so they're probably going to combo those two ults. How are we going to defend around that? That's thinking actively defensively. Obviously, to an extent, you
yeah.
have to play defensively on when they ult and stuff like that, of course, because they should be the ones initiating. But you should have an idea still on how to counter whatever they're going to be throwing at you.
Mhm. You're saying, Ken?
Wait, yeah, can go first. Ken,
Wait, what's up?
you
You were
you
saying
talking?
something, and then I
Oh no,
interrupted
it's
you.
cool.
Okay.
Okay. I did want to spend this time more. Okay, we have our obvious team issues that we're gonna play more as a team, and that should iron out just with like playtime. Pointing them out is good, but I think we also have to talk about how we're playing as a team, right? Because I want to talk about this first here. So he spots the cap, doesn't see the Sarlacc, right? He's calming. He calmed this, right? Doesn't he sees the cap? He sees the cap's gonna go for an engage, right? But if we look, I'm over here looking. Drizzle is reacting late, but he does look. Um, Gia here, she's not in call. She isn't. She just is not seeing this. She just is not seeing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, he's here trying to come help. I think Kenny does look around, misses the freeze, and then Gia turns and looks more to heal. Right, but still we're here, and our Emma Psylocke are both fighting main. Obviously, they run away really soon because I'm pressuring them. Like I'm enough damage to pressure them, but as soon as they get out, we're not doing anything. And I wanna. I mean, okay, Karma does something, but we're still kind of just hovering on point. Like we have no game
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah, I get
See,
that.
I'm
My
here hard calming this possible kill, but it just doesn't come through. What's up? You can speak.
I was gonna say, my mentality there is I'm pushing the cart for free. It's not necessarily like a good excuse, but the way I saw it was if they're not contesting the cart and they're not actively killing my team, then it's not like the end of the world, if that makes sense. Um, like my mentality is there is that like especially as an Emma and I'm going against like very highly mobile characters like Cap and Psylocke and Hulk is that I can go around like if you back up a little bit with the camera, I can go around the building and I can chase the Cap. But what then happens is that after I've already chased the Cap, he runs away. I either have one no cooldowns because I'm trying to grab him, or two, I then have to walk all the way back to main and then I've already given up the space that was allowed that was foregone because they chose not to play down on me. Like they give up that first few like 50 meters completely for free because they're chasing everyone around the map. which does end up killing us. But from my perspective as an Emma, it's like I'm literally just standing there moving the point for free. If that makes sense. It's not a good
Okay.
excuse, but like that's my
So
mentality there.
here. Okay, so team
Like if you
fighting.
back up and you look at everyone running around, I'm not really supposed to be chasing everyone, if that makes sense.
Right now, I
The
understand.
one
I understand.
the one you called out though with the
Moonkai
the
668
DPS
moved
that
to
you called out,
HXM
yes, I
voice.
probably should have looked and I probably should have attacked the person.
Moonkai
Especially since
668
knowing
moved to
in
general call.
retrospectively, if I had just hit them, they were already one shot. They probably would have died.
Right. Okay. Okay. I want to say this though.
My bad. I don't want to cut you off, but I'm about to leave here in a second because my OC's instructor is probably about to call in a second. I just want to say
Uh,
this, like, I don't know who's all here and stuff. This isn't to be offensive to everyone. I don't think it has anything to do with team synergy or team comms. I don't think. I think as many matches we play together won't help. Like the main issue, I think individually we're all just lacking skill wise. I'm gonna be honest, because every time I VOD it and I go over it with people, there's just a lot of mistakes in every individual gameplay that the other one's making up. Because I'm looking right.
yeah, that's
And
that. I'm hoping to go through two things. I'm gonna
the-
cut in for a moment. I'm gonna talk about mechanics and then team fighting. But you can continue. That's what I'm hoping to do.
Okay. Well, I was about to point out the main ones, right? There's clearly like the obvious one on my end. I can just start there to ease it in. I don't know how to mechanically play Salak anymore. I haven't used her since Emma, and I haven't like even picked up DPS pool too much yet. So I had a lot of frequent mistakes, especially when it comes to positioning as well. But then I think the healers also have a really detrimental issue of like Kenny panic M1s a lot, and she's reloading 24/7. Zermox is texted. She's consistently reloading. She has a really large downtime. And our other healer, I think it was Gia or Lumine. I already forgot which one was. I think it was Gia. Has an issue of cooldowns rotation. They have really poor management of it. And none of them like screen which profile they're on. So the DPS don't tend to get healed as much as the tanks, which is pretty bad. Another thing I'll say is that the tanks take a decent while to peel back sometimes, or S-key a good bit to where we can't contest or hold pressure. And I think that's like the main issues. And it won't, no matter how much team practice we do, unless we individually improve those mechanics, nothing's gonna change.
For sure.
I get what you're saying.
I totally
Bad
agree. I
habits.
totally agree.
Bad habits. Compile.
Because again, I know where like I'm lacking in these areas with these characters, but there has been times where I've watched me or one of the tanks die when we should not have died in front of the healers, and I was like, okay, that sucks. And there's also been times when I was like dead and spectating, and I saw one of the tanks just push back instead of contesting there, and I was like, okay, that's cooked because we have like no pressure from that part. So
See, can I bounce off of you there? I want to say about what Drizzle was saying earlier. Yeah, you were pushing the cart for free, but the cart moves without you being on it. And I want to say that think of the map like you have to make space in front of the cart, right? To move the cart for free. You can't just move the cart because everyone is running around the cart and not actually like actively contesting it. What I would say is on a map like this, maybe jump up here and like fight high ground, contest these people, just like poke them, right? And then alongside that, maybe can hear my hard comm on the Starlord, like when he went around. And we fight the Starlord. Emma jumps up because you had plenty of time. Emma jumps up, and we like pincer the Starlord and we force out the res, either this res or his other res.
Not really realistic because we have to play to where the team is at skill wise right now. If we tank flanks, we're not gonna get healed. We have to play a bit more on main.
That is a good point.
Like,
that is a good
okay,
point.
I before anyone thinks I'm just being toxic, look at my.
No,
look
I
at
know
my
what he's saying.
Yeah, okay, I literally died on cart, and our Sue was just spamming shield. No one was just spam. So we do have to play a bit more with like in our team's level. Like, okay, yeah, watch this from her side, right? And then watch me getting blitz, right? Right now I'm not even in POV of them, and I always ask for heals. That is like the main comp.
I've heard that. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like that realistically shouldn't happen.
I get you.
So we have to play a little bit more to our team strengths. If we go on a flank, we will die. Because a lot of my DPS pool downtime was because I wasn't getting retained for an ult 2, which I lose at spawn. So I just had to pop it, knowing I'll just lose it. Which also is again just me not knowing the character. And I will say the tanks should never really be on cart. I learned this from Boba, and accurate, you should never even really be on cart too much. You should always be at like
Yeah,
a pretty good margin above it. Or if you're falling
That's-
back, then it's okay to push below it, but you should never be on it. And I
that's
have something
why.
Yeah.
on a good
That's what this was about. That's what this was about. Like you have to make space, like somewhere in front of the cart, because we're not. The goal is to take the fight, not move the cart. Because if we take the fight away from the cart, then we move the cart for free. Supports can be on cart.
Yeah.
That's
a good
how I
split.
see
Yeah,
it.
that's good. Especially since we're on offense and we're not on defense.
So yeah, I get what Kenny's saying. We have to understand our weaknesses, and that might just be our supports. And so maybe contesting these angles here might be more difficult for us than it would be for the enemy team. I get that. But I think we should make the correct play. And lose on
Yes.
the correct play.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. Well, yeah, if that's what you think, then I'll do it. But I will say for these games, I wasn't because I was trying to play more towards everyone's strengths. But if that's what you like think we should do, then I'll do that then.
I get where you're coming from. Like playing on our strength is good. Like I know what you can do, and I know what our supports can and can't do.
Move to HXM voice.
What's up,
Alright,
Lily?
guys.
Welcome back.
Um,
We're talking about
one-
this. What's
okay,
up?
well, it's also very important. So I talked to both Kenny and Gia, and it is about Ken, and that was their most concern. They were talking about how majority of the time they had no idea where Ken was. They knew where everyone else was, but not Ken, and he would just ping instead of communicating where
Okay.
he is.
Can we pause there? I want to go back. I want to show this clip or this section where Ken died. I think here's a good place to unpause it. So like G here can see most of the team, right? Can see. Ken gets pressured. That was visible. Don't know if it was calmed, but it was visible for a
No.
moment. You don't think so?
Yeah, no, that was. I always ask for heals. That is like the main con. I have in fact every game asked
See.
for heals pinged.
Right
I have a
here,
self-ping.
it's visible. He could hear it. I mean, she could hear it. And then obviously Solak jumped down. And then here, at some point in the movement to getting down to low ground, he asks for heals, and then Gia turns around, never finishes the reload. Right? Cannot heal him. He can only put the shield on him. And then he dies. Okay, hold on. Ken, does this happen multiple times? Like this kind of scenario
Well, it
happen multiple
happens
times?
more frequently on DP, and that's why I asked. Is it okay if like not okay? Hold on, my bad. I'm getting a message from Instructor. Is it cool if I did a few games with the healers to help them out with CD rotations? I would like to actually
Because-
just help them out with some things.
Here's the thing. They were telling me how, like, not this map. This was not the map they were talking about. I think it was the first game. They were complaining about you. This one that they
Yeah.
weren't really.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
They-
asking. Is it okay if I sit down and help them with some things? Because more often than not, even on characters I lack in, my positioning's never really too much of an issue. It was more the mechanical skill or the kit like I'm not utilizing it well for that character. And
I
more often than not, it is pretty easy to heal characters like DPS, Pool, and Psylocke because they're a good bit of the time in LOS. Like go to their prof here. Like this is what I mean.
Regardless-
They don't come on their profile which side they're looking down, which would be a big help. It's like what like all healers
To
should
clarify, this is the like POI, and he's talking about like the right profile would be like the right side of the card or this side, or playing like this side.
Or line of sight.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They never really calm this. And again, I say every time when I need heals. I have a self ping on G, so
Let's we'll swap between both.
I would like
So,
to
yeah.
stay on the healers, like see what they're doing.
Sure.
Thank you.
One super quick thing, just so I can get this out. I think a good example of what he's referring to when he says like the mechanical skill is that like when he had died as Psylocke, one thing you should do as Invis is you should throw your shield down and then immediately start left clicking. You should not replace your shield to try to quote unquote better position your shield. Just throw your shield down and then the DPS should know to play next to it or play behind it and then go for your left click. If you're moving your shield over and over again, it means that you're not actively healing them with your best healing, which is your left click.
she's also actively just throwing shots in, and I would just stand a lot more still and sit. Like
Press the random button.
you can also stay a lot further back. You have like the size of a tennis field.
They're both still out in the open here.
It's definitely just more of that you and the supports do not play enough together, but they don't.
No, I don't think that's an
But
issue.
you
Yeah, I think. Okay, hold on. I wanna
It's partially
make
the
this
issue, but it's
clear.
not the issue.
I want to say this is. I want to make sure this is clear. Kenny is. I mean, sorry. Kenny. The other Kenny's not here. I'm gonna just say Kenny. Kenny here. He's not playing like strangely. He's not playing any like. He's not playing weird. He's playing a very like typical. Like the way he's playing is understandable. I think what Kenny is trying to get across is that our supports just do not have the game sense, the awareness to understand what Kenny is doing here. Right? Is that what you're kind of trying to say?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, that's why that's why I asked you like a good bit of times, and I've even tried to like
I
talk
mean-
to them. Like I would
I
actually
mean,
just
just
like
go, just
to,
ping
like,
him.
go-
Just ping him. Just talk to him. Your teammates. Also, CA empty. Whenever you go.
Oh,
I played some games with Gia. She's definitely a good listener.
Yeah, I think they were also saying like how they know they definitely didn't talk as much, and they completely understand that. But the other thing was what was it? It said that
I mean, like here we didn't. The supports are completely disconnected from how we're fighting. When support should be like basically here, where this dead body is at, and like helping our Deadpool. But
Yeah.
instead, he has to fight the Elsa, which is usually a losing battle. Which yeah, you can see he basically lost that fight, and he had to come back and ask for heals when he could have been getting healed and then staggered the Elsa, which Elsa got the touch for point here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is
that's
when I
what
this is when
was
I called
saying,
out. You'll
so
see
I
me
just wanna
looking up.
put it
I'm like, hey,
back
there's
in.
someone up here. That way I destroy the thing, and it's like, hey, I don't want them to touch. That's what. That's
I
another
get
one,
you.
like, that's
And there were other moments. I couldn't call them out because it seemed like just a dick thing. But like I'm saying, this as someone who also plays a good bit of healer, there's some things that like they need to pick up on.
honestly. Side note, I think what you maybe should have done instead. Can you go back to when he was low when he was fighting Elsa?
Sure.
Yeah, like back when he was in the room, like post like he just left the Elsa and then he goes into the room to get healed.
Sorry, yeah. My timing is a bit weird on the timeline. Okay, yeah.
Are you able to see
So-
what
Okay,
upgrades
so
I
right
have at the
right here,
moment?
press the in key. I want to see what cooldowns you got. Yeah. Okay. And then press play. So actually, okay, I don't mind it. What I was thinking there is if he had a dash or two, what he could have done is just grab the heals on the right and then immediately went instead of having to wait for heals. Although he did get them immediately, what he should have done is it immediately went to contest the Elsa. That way she couldn't like she just did. She couldn't just touch. She had to think about whether she wanted to touch and potentially stagger herself, or uh, not touch and back up. Like I think you backing up off of the Elsa there is not like a bad play for like you playing your life, but for the team, I think you could have continued to contest her. Because it meant the difference in this circumstance. In retrospect, it meant the difference between her touching the point and not touching the point. Because she wouldn't have walked up there for free if there was someone on.
I get
Which is
you.
not
I
something
think
you really-
another. I
Yeah, go ahead.
wanna touch on this point. Pre-fight planning. So of course the Elsa touch they portaled. I think us as a team, or more specifically our backline, has to play in this room. Right? We take home of this space and we have a completely like we have two walls to play around and their punish row, this shit here that fucked us, no longer does its job. Right? Because now we're here. Obviously Ken dies because he's staying on point. Drizzle's gonna die soon because nobody's there to look at him. And then everyone else is kiting back. And then obviously Karma's here trying to kill the Punisher with me.
No, that
Right,
was
like-
good, bro. I was gonna
I mean, it's
ult it,
chill.
but
Like we had no idea what to do in that scenario. We're taking no opportunities to bunker.
I
Yeah.
think that was gonna be hard to do because Punisher ulted right there, and that would have been hard to pull off.
Well,
honestly.
okay. Well, here's the thing. Well, we expect the portal. We knew that Elsa got away. We know that Elsa's gonna try and touch. We just immediately bunker. We immediately bunker.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah, it's
like
hard
fuck
to just jump on the
fuck
point as a
everything
full
else.
team when the whole team is on there. It's annoying
Yeah.
as fuck to jump through the portal and then be met with 6 people in your face.
The other option would be to bunker over here, or maybe use this wall as cover. We have options, but we had no comms. We have nothing we could have done.
Yeah.
We
I
had
think we
no
kind of
idea
just
what to do.
assumed that we won the point, and then we didn't. Like we kind of turned our brains off. They were like, "Oh, we're about to win the point," and then she touches, and then we're like, "Damn, we didn't really expect that." Which is kind of the point I was making with the Deadpool Elsa situation, because it would have made it a bit more secure. So what is this sound I'm hearing? It's like a block.
It's a sound mod I have. Don't worry about it. You can mute
Okay.
the stream.
Well, no, because I want to hear the shit.
I want to say another thing. Nobody here focused the Elsa with me. Like here, I screamed out that Elsa was off to the side alone, and nobody focused the Elsa. Like I was looking at her, I'm like, oh
True.
shit, the Elsa's here alone.
I mean,
Karma
I
coulda
looked at her
done it.
with you, but there was a point where like she just moved past like my
I mean,
range.
Yeah, but we have a Venom. We have a DPS pool. DPS pool has a gun,
I'm more
even
so
if he
just
doesn't want to go.
saying from my perspective.
We also have a Luna. Yeah, I get you. But we have 1, 2,
Collectively,
3, 4.
At the
You
end of the
technically
day,
have a gun.
She's in a bad position.
Right. We have to punish her, but we did not.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Jeez, bro.
point number two, this guy was in a bad position and we took way too long. I'm here, I'm pointing out Strange is here. We shoot Strange. And look how long it takes for people to like actually look at the Strange. Luna did it.
Yeah.
Right?
But
You're still
that's
facing
honestly
forward.
another example of like why we said that after the second game where we were like trying to calm specific locations. Because if you said, "Hey, Emma, turn around, he's behind you and he's low," that's different. But that's different than like saying, "Hey, shoot Strange." Because if I don't know where he's at, even if I'm playing, even I'm la di da di da walking up, being a dumbass. If you don't say turn around, then there's a good chance that I'm just not like he's not in my vision. I'm not gonna notice that he's right there. I should have
Pretty
that
sure I
awareness,
pinged him.
but if you don't,
Pretty sure.
that's true. But I can't see pings from behind me. That's what I'm getting at. Like if you said,
Fair
"Hey
enough.
Emma, turn around," there's a free kill. That's I'm not blaming you. I'm more so just saying like that is the kind of communication that's like the difference between me having to look around and just being like, "Hey, turn around real quick." He's one shot or some shit.
I do want to say, yeah, I could have tell you to turn around. I could have told you to turn around, but that I can't calm that very fast. I think it's half being clear. Like I could say Strange right side, Strange alone, Strange feeding, whatever. But it's also an awareness thing. You kind of just have to keep mental awareness of where the Strange is at, because the Strange could easily just like put a shield right here and like block your heals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, even if the Strange wasn't feeding in that scenario, you were ahead of the Strange. You should have known the Strange was behind you. The Strange is behind you. You're on
that's a
Emma.
good
You
point.
should probably go for the grab.
I think if you watch it from my perspective, I either walked past him and I ignored him,
So,
or I just didn't see him. He was at a
So-
peripheral.
Strange is shooting. You see him. You're trying to shoot the Elsa,
Yeah.
and then
I shoot
Strange is
Elsa,
still shooting
and
you.
then I just
Ew.
completely forget he exists. Literally, he doesn't exist to me.
And then you use Diamond for him. Still, we're not aware
Yeah.
of this guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
okay.
I walked past him and then it didn't exist in my brain.
I wanna give you a
That was
tip as a
100%
DPS player. Keep in mind that what shots are like landing on you, right? Because here, hold on. I think I can try and pause it a little bit earlier.
You can
Right
also slow it
here, I
down.
see. No, this works. Here, I can see that Strange is shooting at me. I can just recognize the noise and realize that Strange is shooting at me. On tank, you can take this damage, but on DPS, taking the damage from a Strange, that's like almost half your HP, right? So try to react to that, whether it's like a Luna clap or whatever. Try to understand what damage is hitting you.
Yeah.
And then Emma hits a little bit.
See
Emma,
this. I want to look at this engage real quick. with this venom. Did Ken did he calm this at all? Was this understood that this was gonna happen?
What do you mean?
I think so.
This did Karma calm this?
You mean
Disengage,
calming the
right?
dive?
Yeah.
He more than likely did calm that.
Damn. He
I did.
I wanna-
deleted
I did say this.
Exploded.
I did say this beforehand though. I can't do engage like before like pre-upgrade.
I get you. You're playing. You're trying to get final hits. You're trying to get your upgrades, right?
Well, it isn't even just about finals, but I have to do because again, with the way it is, I have to play a little bit safer, and I also do have to play for kills first before I dive.
Karma, do you know how to soft engage? Do you know what those two words together mean?
That was the one.
A soft
The opposite
engage.
of that. The opposite of that.
Well, no, not the opposite. Adjacent, I can say. So, this is how they're setting up. Elsa has a trap. The trap is meant to get you still so they can shoot you for free. Specifically, this Punisher guy that does 1 billion damage, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you dove straight into the trap. That's one thing.
I didn't know.
You dove.
They know.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's okay if you don't know. You have to understand that it's somewhere and it's gonna fuck you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but on top of that, they have push with the self shield. Obviously, you have the sweep team up, so you can hit through the shield. That doesn't matter too much. But Mantis has a sleep, and the Mantis sleep can stop you from popping your shield, which that happened here. That genuinely just happened. Okay. So, you dove in. They trapped you. They hit you with the sleep, and then they did 1 billion damage with you. To you. You understand that you went into their entire team and you got genuinely all 20 inches of their dick. You understand?
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Do you
Okay.
did you have ult there?
He did have it.
Because
Yeah.
I was gonna say
He had
sometimes
ult,
the
but-
mentality with Venom is that like you want the whole team on you because then you
Bro,
get a lot.
that's
more
the push I
damage.
wanted to ult, but I just exploded.
Yeah. I think we called for hey Venom, we need you to ult.
Yeah,
he saw
yeah.
value. He went
For
for
the
it,
invis.
and he got slapped.
Yep.
Which is what the Mantis should be doing.
Okay, let's take a backtrack. That's a good comp. We should have probably Venom ulted here. It's just this is not the way you start this fight. I want to say you don't go from here to here where 4 people are at, where you're gonna take 4 dicks. I want to say you can play. You can like maybe land on this wall, maybe land over here, poke at 1 DPS. Right? Yeah. You can use just like your land, poke at 1 DPS, take focus away from your other tank. Right? Maybe pull out a sleep from the Mantis and then you swing out. You don't use your shield. You do not use your shield. And then whenever you're ready to engage again with Ken or without Ken, whatever, maybe just with your ult, you climb up the wall and then you go for the Mantis. Because the Invis, I say Mantis is
Honestly-
easier to kill here. Mantis with no sleep is easier to kill.
That's actually a perfect that's a perfect use case for the tech that I was showing you earlier, where like you like soft swing, where you go for a swing, but then you hold it midair for a second, and then you allow yourself to be able to, get your cooldown and then dive right back in without having to swing all the way back to your healers. You fly up in the air for a second. You don't let go because then you're just kind of falling in the air. You're making yourself a primary target. You hit that soft swing, let it like kind of spring you, and then you dive. That way, like since you've already gotten out before, if you have a cooldown, you can just go in immediately, knowing that you've already baited out the freeze or the sleep or whatever.
The big idea is to bait out cooldowns. You go in for the soft engage. You pull out more than just the sleep. You can pull out the infinite ammo, which he popped for you. You can pull out maybe some dashes from the Elsa. You can pull out you can pull out the self shield, and then one of us can damage like if we focus the same target. You understand? And it doesn't have to be on this side. It can be up here. It can be. Honestly, this might be one of the only sides. This is really good positioning from them. But do you kind of understand the goal? I was going to point this out on the third map, the very last map, where you made a really good, what could have been a really good soft engage, and then you stayed there for too long. So I want to go point that out because I want to hamper on this point a lot because this is
Matter of fact,
because this is like how you dive. If you're not doing this, you're going in to take damage and you're probably gonna die whenever
Mechanics
they
slide left.
actually. Oh, that guy left. He had to go somewhere, I think. but I do want to show off this point here. I'll show the cooldowns. So you're here, you know, we're taking the fight, whatever. You see the opportunity to jump off both supports, you take it, and then you use a cooldown, right? Which is the slam, and then they
Should've
use.
left right there.
You should have left right here, but yes, but I want to point out everything they're using. They use the Magneto team up bubble, they use Hulk bubble, and if you notice, they used the Gambit slam. That's another thing. He used the roll right here. You should have gone out. Fuck the wall climbing. Right here, you should have just gone out. Maybe a couple seconds earlier too. But they
One
used
thing
all their shit on you, and we got
One thing
all this
I do
space.
agree with all of us. What I will say is, I think this would have been a lot less necessary if you had waited 2 seconds for your other cooldown. You jumped in without your team up, and it meant they didn't really have to deal with you. They could just run away. And so if you had waited for your cooldown, they would have been like, oh shit, Venom's on me. They would have calmed that to the team, and they would have had to peel for you a lot like more I don't know, vigorously, rather than you just being like, oh, I'm gonna jump in, not do any heavy damage, and then jump back out. I don't know. When you do that, it's more likely to force cooldowns that they don't want to have to use, but they have to use because you're using a strong ability. If you just dive in there with your slam and your tendril, there's a good chance they just run away. This is why like the team up made Venom significantly more playable, is because that team up allows him to actually secure kills, and you actively not going into their backline with that team up is bad. More specifically because you could have just waited a couple seconds. And that's the whole thing with like planning it, is that like you saw the dive potential, which was good, but if you just waited a couple seconds, you probably could have gotten way more value. If not, you may have gotten a kill because you surprised them. Do you see what I mean though? Like if you go back and you see his
Yeah.
cooldowns. Okay.
Oh yeah, no,
As long as he gets
I
it.
pointed it. I pointed
Yeah,
it out
like
in my
2
head.
seconds. Yeah, 2 seconds, and you would have done way more damage, and you would have been a way bigger threat. It also, you being a bigger threat allows it, makes it a lot easier for you to get away because they're more concerned with getting away rather than trying to kill you. But yeah, he's right. Right here, like this is like you're not doing anything here. You just have to swing out of there. Especially since you no longer have your E ability, like your armor. Any damage that you're taking is free damage for them. You're not going to be able to get your armor back in time. If you do not have armor, you should always swing out if you're below, anywhere from like 600 or below, because you're just going to get fried. He's a walking hitbox. And he's a CC magnet. 1 CC and you're cooked.
Yeah.
I
Like, there's
do
no
also want to
fluency,
say, on the patience thing. Let me go back to when you were like setting up for the dive,
Told y'all this this game was cooked, bro. I already told you.
bro.
Also, side note, I wanted to say this earlier, and I said this at the beginning of the game. I did not know this map. So when you were like, hey, you should go up the boxes, I agree with you, but I do not have the map knowledge to like intuit that. I wasn't
No,
like,
that's
oh yeah,
fine, that's
I
fine.
should go up the boxes, and like sure, maybe if I was a better gamer, but in general, like I promise, the only thing I knew about the map was you telling me there's a spot on the map where if you push them down, they'll spawn somewhere else, and that's about it. Other than that, I was lost. So that's another reason why I was like, I'm not gonna go running around areas that I don't know how to get out of.
Get you. But I want to more call out this. So you're here, you understand that you want to go for a dive, but at this moment, if you realize they're going for a dive. So if you wait at this wall for a single moment, then you just peek around the corner, you're gonna realize that they're about to fuck us. Right? So you just wait here, you maybe see this guy, you can call him to your Emma, but they're about to fuck us. Right? You went in. Honestly, this is how it happens most of the time. Like one dive happens and then the other dive happens, except you just didn't get out. Their dive was more successful and they used all their support cooldowns. We couldn't play off of all of this util dump because we were getting fucked from behind. See, this would have been good space. One, if you got out. Two, if we just weren't getting fucked from behind. So like you get the util, you get out, and then you come help the backline. That's kind of what I'm asking you to do. Right? You come slam in, whatever util you have, you maybe use the team up that you got back on cooldown, and you just swing at the Salak. You swing at the Salak with me, because I'm pretty sure I get her low. Or the cap, because he also gets low. Like something. right?
Yeah.
And then yeah, we just they finish off the fight. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like take notes by myself on the 3 VOD reviews, and then I'm gonna make a video about it. Get a YouTube video.
I think
Welcome back,
there's
Mr. Beast here.
a lot of things that could have been different. But
Actually, we should have just had Moonkai, to be honest. It's our goat right there. Moonkai and we win, trust.
no, the other two needed to do the scrim sometime.
We needed
Yeah.
Moonkai on Magneto.
The
So we
practice is
needed-
necessary.
Hey, I can play Shark, bro. I'll play Shark for you guys. Hey, shit.
Okay, hold. What am I looking at here? So here you use tendrils on somebody that can easily get out, right? And
Yeah,
then you
they all
also use
can.
team up. I know, but you're using tendrils when you're not really expecting to kill people.
Yeah.
See, he gets out and then you use team up, and he's already gone.
Oh,
Yeah. Tendrils,
I think-
tendrils on Shark, Rocket, and Gambit are also always like really like hard to justify because one, they get away, but also two, like Shark and Rocket, their hitboxes are really small. So one, if you don't have your team up, then it's gonna be hard to actually hit them. But also two, like back to the first point, they're probably just gonna run away immediately anyways. So unless you're like about to ult or some shit, like tendriling them should be like you should definitely still tendril the backline, but it should not be like, oh, I'm gonna tendril them and then also not expect them to just run away, because that's Gambit literally pressed 2 buttons there, or he pressed his dash and then he was out of it.
Another thing I want to comment on: they pop Hulk bubble. Do not break that shit. Do not break that shit. You popped his bubble, he gets ult charged. You're feeding. It's a small form of feeding, but you're feeding. You have to
Does he-
understand that.
Does he not automatically get it when it pops just in general?
If you let it run out, it won't give him ult charge. It gets
Oh,
ult
okay.
charge from taking damage.
So not when it expires, just when it breaks.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. I
I
assume
do also want to say, the Widow here definitely worked better than the Punisher. Punisher is good into these characters, but not when they have coordination, because the shotgun is honestly dog shit. The shotgun. The shotgun works whenever we can like bitch them around, right? Whenever they're like actually going in and expecting to win their team fight. But you can see here, I'm gonna swap the Punisher and I'm not gonna be able to do anything. I mean, I get this kill and then you ask me to swap the Punisher, I'm pretty sure. I'm here like considering it and then I go back and swap. It's just a lot of things Punisher cannot do that these other characters can do. And Widow does good damage, like good just like DPS, general damage. We're not able to contest because I don't have a tank here. Honestly, Venom should have been here instead of over there. We have to. Okay, I think I said this earlier, but I'll say it again. We have to contest before we take point. We have to clear space before we take point. If that makes sense. This guy was here living for free, so he has free setup with anybody on this team that he can actually get to. Of course, they're not really set up well, but because he's here, he's able to do something with it. He can pull out cooldowns, he can do whatever, and he's being properly patient. He goes in whenever Starlord goes in, and we never cleared him. We never did anything about that, and I'm pretty sure I calmed it too. Because I was
no Gambit ban.
Yeah, I just assumed they wouldn't have like a team comp around Gambit, but they did, and they fucked us. So this is why we banned Gambit first. I wanted to try getting Mantis out because I felt like, honestly, my bad. This is organized play. The Mantis is gonna be better. Also, no ammo here. More. This is less. Hold on.
This is what I was saying,
I
where
understand.
like, that
I
was
understand.
almost up me.
This is less on actually ulting him. It's more on positioning. One, we didn't clear that guy out, so this ult was genuinely free. He had all the time in the world just to do this, especially with all the setup that they have. Okay. Another thing, if you know that they're starting, this is about the time that they're gonna fight. This is about the time that they're gonna fight. You have to understand that your ult has to counter this guy's ult, but instead you were all the way over here. You're a mile away, and we could do nothing except, I don't know, look up at the sky and pray.
Yeah. Can you look at my perspective there? Because I think my mentality there was I was trying to help my Venom get value, which is not necessarily a good excuse. But
I'm a little too forward. You're walking in. Okay, and you let the Hulk jump over you.
yeah,
This guy's also here. Karma, what were you doing? Hold on. This has multiple layers. I'm gonna
I
peel
think he's
back
looking for a
everything.
dive on the healers right here.
Is he? Gotta see.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you see the
He-
Star Lord,
yeah,
and
he
you
dives it.
you saw the Star Lord there, Karma. You have to let us know. You have to let us know.
Yeah.
Ain't no way I didn't call it.
Hey,
Bro,
I don't want to.
honestly-
I don't want to say. I don't want to say that
Wait.
you did or you didn't because I have no clue. But I have the recording, so.
Go.
Honestly, even if you
on.
didn't, I honestly think you don't even dive there in general. I think you just wait. You push.
Well,
you
hold
push the
on.
Star
I don't
Lord
even know
off
if
of
this
his
was a
point.
dive.
No, he dives. He dives.
Okay,
here.
no, that was a dive.
Hold
Okay,
on.
you made the same mistake.
Go-
Speak.
Go back to before Gia swaps the cloak and dagger.
Go back to.
Probably like 30 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, hold
Go
on.
back more. I need to, cause I know she's playing Invis. Go back a little more.
Okay, she dies here. I'm assuming she swaps
What?
here. Yeah,
Hold
she
on. No,
swapped. here.
what percent was her ult? I couldn't see it, cause you have the thing covered up. I can't see it.
73. I
70.
don't feel like that's that bad. Could be
No,
worse.
she should have stayed on it. She should have stayed on Invis.
You think? You think?
Because technically she could have gotten ult really fast and she could have countered both the ults if she didn't switch.
I see
Wait,
that.
see.
I see that. I also see that Cloak and Dagger doesn't really do much better. Okay, Cloak and Dagger is going to survive better, but Cloak and Dagger surviving doesn't mean that the rest of the team is going to survive a dive.
And
And then the
they
ult charge is
ulted
another
way
thing.
quick. Yeah, she reset her ult charge back to 50.
I don't think she would have made it there. If she was at 70,
I
she
thought-
would not have made it in time for that. Star
No,
Lord.
she's
Well, it's more about like
Right.
okay, they're on defense. They're gonna get ult first. That's almost a guarantee. But it's more about just having the ult for something. Whether it's like they use Gambit Star. That's one thing. They didn't have ult for
Yeah.
that. We die. Go next. Okay. Then they're gonna have Rocket. They're gonna have Psylocke. They already have Cap. They could have Hulk whenever.
Mhm.
It's
think
more about having it
generally-
up as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I
Well, also
know
later
you're-
in the cycle.
her Invis gameplay needs to improve a lot, and that's I already told her like she's not vortex. So, like she only
She didn't fade
having
here.
70.
You just start
But
team up.
I think generally her Invis needs to improve because she should be having ult to match that Gambit. Invis gets ult really fast this season,
So
and not having.
is it the invis gameplay or is it more on like the priority that they lack on like building ult? I want you to be clear about that.
I think it's more like
You
I
can
think
easily
it's
say that.
probably a mixture of both because like multiple times he's just not getting ult. And I don't know what it is. I think it's just she's not farming damage or whatever on Invis. And I probably
well,
will
this-
need to
Did
reach.
she also just threw bubble down on Luna ult though? So it's also something
Yeah,
for cooldown rotations. Because she also iced
No.
before
I
fading.
don't think that was bad. I think she threw the bubble down instinctually, and the Luna just happened to ult.
I
Oh,
think
did
this
she
is
throw it
bad
down?
position.
Did she
I
throw
think
it down before?
well,
Like,
okay,
I don't
I-
blame the bubble.
Well, because she
Like-
iced before fading though, which is generally bad rotation.
about the
they
same
did it
time.
at the exact same time. Yeah.
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 No.
Okay,
'Cause
I
if you
wanna
throw the
make a
bubble down
point of
there, you
this.
patty cake and you live that.
I want to make
I
a
would've
point of
just
this
patty
because they're not here and I have to call it out in the video. So the Luna ult survives to Psylocke, whatever. Psylocke goes to reset up. There's gonna be somebody here. Yep, the Star Lord. And if we look, Gia took a step back here. Let me go back into first person. She took a step back here when our Luna walked up, right?
Yeah.
The Psylocke and the Star-Lord are still in presence, and I don't know if they take advantage of this. I don't know if they're even aware of this, but this is a mistake. She can easily just get redove. Her bubble's gone, and then she only has. I think they do take advantage of it. Okay, no, she fades. She has to use fade to get back in. So she had to commit a cooldown to fix the positioning mistake. And I
I
think
think she faded her fade, like where she's positioned right now is completely terrible.
yeah, too far
Because you're
forward.
leaving your Luna, yeah, your Luna's so vulnerable right now, and the Hulk is on it right now.
Luna
And then she
died.
dies because of it.
Did we have cloak here? Did we have cloak here? 97?
No.
97, 97, 99.
Also, while she's
No,
cloaking,
no,
she's
there's no
also
saving
not
her.
healing.
Agreed.
She's, yeah, I think if she had her bubble, that would have been so much better.
Agreed.
Yeah, she doesn't cloak ult. She's just holding on ult. They both hold on ult, and she just dies. I think
I
if
think
she
she
ulted
died quickly
instead,
there. I appreciate that.
like, I know definitely it's just a really big issue. Like, I know those two, Kenny and Gia, work really well together. I think they just struggled to understand, like, going against people way higher than them, and they're not really that strong. They definitely struggled on support.
Something I
See,
think is like a good. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, my solution to that feeling where they're like not as strong as our opponents, I've been trying to get them into playing a shit ton of ranked. Right? Because eventually they're gonna play enough to where they hammer these things out. And I feel like they're making some progress, but I think I'm saying this for the video, of course. I think they have to aim train. I'm not gonna lie. Aim training helps a lot with awareness and like sounds and like everything. I think this was low-key a misplay by me. I used the cooldown when my team was fighting. We can look at that in a moment, but I think they have to aim train. I low-key think they have to aim train for awareness. Also, this was bad. This was bad. This fight here, like I'm here reloading, watching their Psylocke. Fuck us.
I don't think it's necessarily the aim training. I
Well,
think they just, like,
uh,
I don't think they have, like, they definitely don't have the awareness. I'll be honest with you, because the amount of times they just get dove, and they're kind of just not really doing much.
Yeah, they
Not
lack.
like,
Oh, aim training helps. Aim training can help with reaction time, hearing noises, and reacting to the noises. There are a ton of scenarios. It's more about. I think they're picking up on these things and they're doing nothing about it. Simply because they're just not reacting to it like the same way a DPS would. Like a DPS would immediately react to getting shot. You know what I mean? Like the reaction time, that isn't just like shooting back is way slower. Just because one they have way less time than us being in a stressful position where they have to react to the small things like that, and two, I mean it's that's like 80% of the issue really. They're just not playing in these ranks like we are.
yeah, because definitely if I was on Invis, I probably would have had ult wait, like, for that Star-Lord and Gambit. They just didn't. She's just not, like, literally Invis. If you don't do damage at all, you're just not gonna farm your ult. And it showed when she just didn't get ult for a Starlight Gambit. She swapped the Cloak and Dagger instead. She's at 74. But there's no way Gambit farms ult faster than you when they reduced your ult charge and everything.
Right. And then
That one might have been a diff. I'm not gonna lie.
no, you got healed.
I'm just. Oh, true. True.
You wanna slow it
No.
down? Yeah, and I'll prove it to you.
Hold on.
No, you're good.
No, I need
What's
to
up?
see that TP because Gia messaged me. She said that she didn't listen. She didn't follow through with what we said about the TP.
Okay. Well, let's watch the TP.
Because look, she jumps through.
Oh yeah. No, that's actually just asking to die.
Oh, this is weird. Okay. There she is. Yeah, she jumped in. I mean, the portal's an extremely safe portal, so this isn't like a sin. She isn't gonna instantly die. They probably weren't expecting a portal like this, but she is there. She used her jump cooldown, is visible, and then I make the call here. To flip the map, right? Because I want. Oh, Kenny. I think Kenny tried to follow the direction earlier, and then but she had to go out for other support. I made the call here to flip the map and like supports play back here, and we play like we're attacking. And then we just didn't. Okay, I think we just did not. Yeah, we all huddled back to cart. I mean, Kenny's here on cart, back on cart. Oh, how did she get there?
To be fair, I did also put it in a very. I mean, like, it is on point, and I did just have to throw it on. But it is also like I did throw y'all into a corner. To be fair.
No.
Like, if you-
This is good. This is good portal positioning. I think the only way it could have been better is to put it like here into the open. But
Yeah.
this is like maybe as good as it could be. I don't think I have any issue with the portal.
Like I'm talking to Kenny and Gia about this tomorrow because they went to do something. So I'm gonna definitely like show them like, hey, don't do this, don't do that, and type stuff. So
Yeah, but I want to highlight the flipping the map thing here. We didn't flip the map here when I made the call to flip the map. Like we're here,
but it
we're
should-
in. What's up?
I also don't think we own the cart here, so I think the urgency is to stay on the cart because if we step off, they just insta win.
We have
Which is
tanks
why it's like-
alive. All we need is one tank on the cart. That's it.
Yeah,
Their
That's true.
Yeah, I
their
think
focus
I think-
isn't on killing the single tank on point. They're focused
yeah, I
on killing
think Driz
support.
should have been the one on the cart, and then Thor can just do whatever.
Yeah, and then she
Okay,
walks
she
back up
walked
here
toward-
into Gambit bubble.
Yeah.
So she got bullied and then Hope found her. And then
Yeah.
hold on, this is without our other support did it too. Wait, I have to go back before she did. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. Oops. So this is good position to like flip the map. This is to flip the map. Instead, she's holding W. Okay, she's in melee form, but
We
she went back
canceled
to projectile mode, and it stayed forward instead of going back to cover. The call, I want to explain this for the video again. The call was to flip the map. We put supports back here. We play like we're attacking the cart. We only keep one tank on cart, and maybe our movement tank or dive tank can contest, right? And I do want to show
know-
this for Jizzle that it was not a diff because I kill him once, and then I kill him again.
You know
'cause-
what? They could have played on that ledge on the
Shit, it's
like,
not a
where
diff.
the-
Slight lag.
where the like they could have played on the ledge with that like
to
on
be
the side
fair,
where the
he was
portal
also
was.
spawning right there. You knew exactly where he was gonna be.
So did he.
Standing still.
He can
Yeah,
move
but
his
he was
game.
could've-
standing still.
They could have
So
taken
was
that
I.
little high ground, honestly. No,
The point is, supports. When I want to say they have to play more ranked. Obviously, I already told them to do that. They're doing that. They're in the process of it. Obviously, Kenny hit Diamond. Gia's like 1 or 2 games away from Diamond. I think they have to stay in this rank for multiple seasons. And they have to increase their awareness. Awareness is a big thing because Ken's biggest issue is that he just was not getting looked at whenever he did anything, and he had to ask for heals. That should just not happen. He should be on their radar, and he should be able to get healed.
You should get punished for overextending, not for taking and offing.
Right. So Ken was making the correct play. Our supports could not keep up with that, regardless of what the issue was. They could not keep up with it, and because of that, he had to back off, and then like the play was lost because he couldn't play as he wished. I want to say I think we stop. We can say a few more things, but I think we stop here, and then I make like notes about this. But keep going.
Something I think is good to practice specifically on healers because when you're healing, you have to think about your targets because your targets are more important than I would say than other roles. because they're your team and you're trying to keep them alive, one thing I think you can try to teach them is like touch and go. Like if you're spamming if you're spamming your full clip into a tank, initially it seems good because it's like, okay, I'm getting ult charge and I'm healing my tank. But if you use all of your bullets on your tank and then you turn around and your DPS is behind you and he's one shot and you have to reload, that's very bad. So you should as a healer know how to get your tank or like an individual character to enough heals, depending on the priority list. Like you want your healer to be full health, but like if your Hulk has 50% health, it's not as much of a dire issue as your squishies having less health. Like if your squishy has 50% health, that's a one shot, maybe two shot kill. If your tank has half health, then that's like a lot more damage that they have to run through to die. So like right here, you shoot the
Wait.
tanks a few times, you maybe give them a shield, and then you turn around for your squishies and then shoot the squishies. And that's the difference between like the person dying and also at the same time getting that ult charge that you're talking about. Because once you once or twice tap the squishy, you can just go right back to healing your tank. But if the squishy if you turn around and the squishy's at one, then you have to spend not just your attention, but your time and your ammo on that individual squishy because you didn't spend the time to just kind of glance at them. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like sprinkling heals here and there, which is a two-man job. Like you should be doing it when you have two healers, and then obviously if you have three, it's a lot easier. But like if you have two healers, both of you should be kind of aware of who's low. But like if you're both shooting into the tanks, you're not playing the role correctly. Because you should be able to, with two people, you should be able to keep your tanks alive and your your flankers and your divers and everything else alive, because you have the awareness to be able to once like one or two tap them and then move on to the next person. And also like what's his name? Like Ken said earlier, the reloading, I know I'm bad at that, and I had to eventually just like it's an old Call of Duty habit. It's a bad habit that everyone has to break. You have to be able to not reload just because you have the opportunity to. You have to use your full clip, and practicing once or twice tapping someone, moving on to the next person, and not reloading just because you can is a good way to practice that.
Yeah, I think definitely I 100% agree. I think that's a really bad habit. But I'm mainly starting to see like a big issue when Gia plays Invis. It's just she's not farming damage. And I like generally watching the beginning of the second match, she doesn't vortex. Free damage right there. You vortex the enemy team, free damage, free ult charge. And I'm like, that's something I would do. And when I talk to them tomorrow, I'll be like, hey, when you start a match, just instantly vortex. Literally free damage and free ult charge.
They're not prioritizing like at all their own charge.
I know it's more of a quote unquote advanced skill, but they should also learn how to melee weave, specifically with Invis. Because an underrated cooldown that she has, it's not a cooldown, but an underrated ability that she has is her ability to push people off of her with her melee. And so if you can melee weave in between your attacks, it makes characters like Captain America a little bit less annoying because they have to like you can push them off without having to use a cooldown, especially in scenarios where you've already used that cooldown. It makes it so that he has to think not think about diving you because it's not really that big of an issue for him, but it's annoying for him because he has to spend more time in the backline rather than having to he has to spend more time not doing what he wants rather than doing what he wants. It's like a buffer.
No.
So it's a very
I
short
think
buffer.
I think okay, obviously our supports are one of our biggest issues, right? And I think my biggest gripe is genuinely just our cooldown usage. Like, okay, I'm gonna put it back on Gia. Gia here, she uses the vortex, isn't sure it's gonna hit anybody, doesn't end up hitting anybody. Hits the bubble a little bit, right? Then at that same moment, she uses her double jump. I know the cooldown is short, but they can easily see the lack of double jump, right? For what's 6 seconds on it, and they can jump her. and she instantly dies because the only cooldown she has now. Oh, I got off of her. The only cooldown she had at that moment was her push. Right, but now she has the shield back, and then she immediately uses it again. It doesn't pull it back. It's still not pulled back. Now it's back, but she died. My biggest gripe is the cooldown usage.
Yeah, no, definitely cooldown usage, and it's just I think they're kind of just like I get the nervousness, and I'm because they told me like, hey, they're a little nervous. I'm like, that's fine. But I would probably have to look into their rank games in particular than watching the scrims to see if this is the same habit because they might play differently in ranked because they're playing of someone of their
This-
skill.
They knew they were frying us.
Yeah.
She was probably doing
So-
that so she could walk her. She could like turn her camera without making noise. She used push. Her shift is already gone. The shield is half HP. Isn't being pulled back. Still not being pulled back. It's
like
not-
right here, we walk up.
She
We're spending way
uses
too much time on
invis.
that midsection. We should have walked
She
up.
used her double jump, and now we're flipping.
Now she's
We're
in a bad
we're-
spot.
yeah, we're acting like we're flipping the map when we're not. And now our supports are in the front line. Even though our Venom is distracting, there is still this guy here, and I'm pretty sure Star-Lord is somewhere. Star-Lord is here.
He's on the.
So, yeah, so you,
Okay.
yeah, so this guy could easily, he doesn't need to, but this guy could easily make the call that Invis is alone here. And what could she do? Because she used her double jump to get there. Okay, she has it back. No self shield. She dies. Position. Okay, what caused her to die here? Number one was positioning. She got into everyone's face. Then she started to use all her util, and none of the util was used with purpose, and so she just ended up dying. I'd say in that order, that's why she died. I feel like I'm hammering in a lot on GS. So I'm gonna look at Kenny now.
Like Kenny has some pretty decent aim. I'm not gonna watch it. Like she'll miss occasionally, but she has some pretty decent aim.
Yeah, but it's less. You see these like slow turns around where she's like from one, target number two. She's just plucking around, but target back to target number one. Right, hold on. Let me find like a moment. Target number one, target number two. You see that like really slow, like she's steering a ship kind of aim.
Yeah.
You're not a controller. You're playing on keyboard and mouse. You can move faster than that. She's not flicking like,
Right.
at all. And this is effective reaction time. So like she could get shot by something, but if she's turning at this speed, what is your reaction time? I don't think your reaction time matters. If you're not flicking to the target, what the fuck are you doing? You're still like a free shot. Like if she's moving from target to target at this speed, then what is it? You know what I mean?
Especially if the
Wasted
person
two
goes from
cooldowns.
like point A to point B to point C. Because it's like, okay, sure, maybe she flicked to the target, but what if that person just like, for example, Psylocke, if she dashes past her, she now has to correct all the way back to the other side, and it's another correction. Like she turns to look at her, and then the Psylocke dashes, she has to turn again. If she's not damaging her or like freezing her, then the time that she spent turning the first time is just the Psylocke taking her attention away from her team, which is exactly what she wants. Like
I do
from
wanna
a
say-
DPS perspective,
Hold
from a
on.
DPS perspective, their first instinct is like, if I see a person on that angle, I'm already clicking the fire button. I'm pre-firing. Versus like a healer's like,
Let-
oh,
let
I'm
me
not sure
speak
what I
here.
should do there. Yeah.
Lumi, go and speak.
Yeah.
Knock knock.
So okay, it's not just the scrim. She just does not really use her vortex, and that is a bad habit when Invis. You're literally just throwing at that point. If you're not using part of your kit, you gotta use your kit. And I'm seeing that. I'm watching one of the matches she lost. I'm like, how does your Luna have more damage than you? You should be farming damage. And I'm realizing she's not using her vortex at all. Like I'm watching one of the rank games. I'm not watching it
I get you.
on the scrims.
This
I'm just
scoreboard is
like-
glitched.
Yeah, it's wonky, but I'm like, if literally the one thing I've got a Well, she almost died because she was looking. But I gotta tell him. I'm like, you gotta learn what your kit is and how to use it properly. They just don't use their kit properly when they need to, and then they don't know how to deal with dive. Like literally, if there's dive, just save your vortex for yourself. Just place vortex on yourself, and then you're doing damage to them, and you just calm it out. But you know, I
Especially
can't.
since you can control it. Like you can stop when the vortex it like moves. Like you can stop
Mhm.
on the map where it moves, and so it's like you don't have to throw it out and try to get damage. You can just throw it in front of you and play on the vortex rather than having to
Mhm.
like throw it out and try to get damage. That way, you're just not an easy target.
I think it goes both ways. If there's no dive, then I would just tell them to freely use your
Yes.
vortex.
Yeah,
If there is
100%.
dive, I would use it to like predict where they're at. Cause like that first point really easy to predict. You have like a couple places, and but like then usually you could just save vortex for yourself, like throw it at your feet, because then you're forcing them to take damage, and then you're kind of just forcing them to get away because they're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I'm taking damage.
I wanna end this VOD review here because I intend to do a big old document or like video, whatever. I don't know. It's probably just gonna be another PDF. Um, I will be reaching out to you guys individually, like in DMs, for like comments, including you, Lumi, because you are a support player. I will need your comments.
Yeah.
I
If you're
think
gonna do it oh sorry. If you're gonna do it
I
tomorrow, I'm free, so just let me know.
I'm gonna
When you're
do it over like I'm gonna do it tonight, tomorrow, like maybe the day after. Like I intend for this to
um
be thorough as hell.
yeah, just I'm more likely to give you comments tomorrow though. So
Alright.
maybe Monday, but mostly tomorrow.
Okay. Hamter did want to like review my gameplay, like my specific gameplay, and I want him to do that. You guys can be in here if you want.
And I'm probably gonna leave because
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make my own notes about what I've seen so I can like bring up to Gia and Kenny tomorrow. But
Do we need the
I might
replay
just do it in the
codes?
morning. I'm tired.
Want the
Huh?
replay codes? Do you want the replay codes? Or are you fine
No.
with this? Okay.
No.
My,
I'm
my
just I
profile's open,
since
so if you
they're
need to look at it,
yeah
you can
left.
use that.
yeah, so I'm just gonna go through their profiles and then like